Okay. So this is the Team on the Run call for September 10th, and we are featuring one of our very own inspirational, amazing coaches, Courtney. And I feel like such a fool as I'm like your great grandma coach, I think something like that. I'm way up there because I was like, I didn't message you to figure out all your like accolades because I was like, well, I know all the things she is, and then I was like, wait, do I? So I don't. I know I'm probably gonna butcher this. You're a 1-star diamond, yes. Okay, and you attended from the leadership new leader conference last year, and you are an occupational therapist in Florida, but originally from Minnesota, and you are gonna be a premier or elite team this year because you are already crushing it as team leader, right?
Unofficially, I think Friday is when it becomes official.
Okay, and so and if you guys have been seeing Courtney's numbers lately, she's been like knocking it out of the park. Have you guys seen her numbers lately? Like recruiting like 7 coaches in a month and like Success Club 70, 100 million, I feel like. So I want to know, I just reached out to her and basically was like, I want to know what she's doing and how she has just been slaying this business. And so that's pretty much why she's here, because we all want to know. We all want to pick your brain. We want to know what you're doing because we already knew you were incredible, but all of a sudden your numbers have just jumped. And so talk to us, girl. And hopefully, did I miss anything as far as your accolades go? Just that you're
SC10 All-Star. But
SC10 All-Star. Okay, that's amazing. Right there. I think it's incredible. So I'm going to turn it over to you because I realize it is late where you're at. And we all just want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from me. So let's do this.
Quick things first. Sammy, could you help Sydney get in the call? She's saying that she's having a hard time. Can you see if there's a different link? Okay, cool. So I just want to start out by saying, like, when Jess asked me to speak on this and was like, you're crushing it, I had flashbacks to, what month we're in September. So like 2 Super Saturdays ago, a coach friend that I had made when I was living in Savannah, Georgia, she was hosting a Super Saturday in Savannah, and she asked if I would be the guest speaker at their Super Saturday event and just like talk about how I'm crushing it. And it's this term of like, you're crushing it. And yeah, there's like these high Success Club numbers and all this stuff. And to me, I don't feel like I'm crushing it. Like, I want you guys to know that. Like, I have that internal struggle of like, yeah, sure, like SC 20 or whatever. I don't feel like I'm crushing it. And so when she asked me that, I just was thinking back to when my friend asked me to speak at her Super Saturday. I was like, I'm not worthy of that. Like, I feel like I am no fancy schmancy coach. Like, I'm sitting here with no bra on and like sweatpants, and like I feel like I struggle a lot. And I feel like so many people, like, we just can relate to like the whole struggle bus thing. And I feel like one of the best ways that I've ever had it described was, there's this book, I personal development is the one area where books are not my jam. Podcasts I struggle with. Music is my personal development. But it's a challenger who has become like such a dear friend. And she sent me this book, and in the intro, like not even in the meat and potatoes of the book, it's called It's Not Supposed to Be This Way, Finding Unexpected Strength When Disappointments Leave You Shattered. Amazing book. It's by Lisa, Lysa Turkers. I will have to share that with you guys because I don't know how to pronounce it. But it says, she's just talking about how, like, if you're a human who has been doing this adult thing for more than 24 hours, you've probably come to the same revelation as I have. We can't control our outcomes. We cannot formulate how the promises of God will actually take shape, and we will never be able to demand any of the healing from all of the hurt to hurry up. I ride the struggle bus. but I'm never comfortable with the fact that I can't grab the wheel and drive it back to normal. I find myself disappointed when the winds change, the struggle bus takes a sharp left turn, and nothing at all feels right. And just that concept of like, we say we're on the struggle bus, but the hardest thing is when you feel like you just can't grasp a hold of the steering wheel. And that was like, that's me. Like, I try so hard not to put a highlight reel on social media. And a lot of people give me that feedback of like, thank you for being so authentic. And I pride myself on that. I feel like that's one of the big reasons why people connect with me and they want to be in our boot camp and they want to join our team. And I had someone actually reach out to me and she goes, I follow so many Beachbody coaches on Instagram, but you are by far my favorite because honestly, you're so real. Like, you're just authentic. And I told her, I was like, that's the biggest compliment I think you could ever give someone. And so one of my first points is just be authentically you. Be the struggle that you are, because people relate to that. I just shared like the most terrifying thing on my Instagram. Like, I purposely posted it right before I got on this call, knowing that I couldn't touch my phone. And I'm still like, I'm trying not to like tear up just thinking about it. Like, it probably wasn't the best timing. But that authenticity is what connects so many people, because they know that I'm not perfect. And they know that even though I'm not perfect, I can still succeed. And if they know that their imperfections don't disqualify them from success, and, you know, they see it in me and other people, that they can do it themselves. So that was just my big point, definitely to start out, is just be authentically you, the ups, the downs, the messes, the stuff shows. There's a lot of kids watching. But I also, in an attempt to do more personal development, my corporate mentor, Mary, recommended the book, Upper Limit Problem. No, The Big Leap. The Big Leap. And it talks about the upper limit problem. And there's these different aspects to it. And it is good so far. And one of them was just, we don't allow ourselves to be successful. Like, going back to how I said, you know, when Jessica, my friend, asked me to speak and they're like, you know, talk about how you're crushing it, I instantly, instead of saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much, like, that's a really big compliment, I instantly in my head was like, absolutely not. Why me? What, like, why me? I'm no. And that is my upper limit problem telling me, you are too successful. You need to take things down a notch and get back to kind of like a baseline homeostasis. And we tend to limit ourselves when we find that are finding success or we're finding good things in life. We justify there's too much good or there's too much success, and we cut ourselves back just to kind of like, you know, Jessica said it exactly. I think it's definitely a woman thing. Yes, downplaying our success, and doesn't help that we are passive aggressive women from the Midwest, that we've got two things that are not on our side. And so I just want you guys to know, like, every small success equals something. And while to you, it probably feels like it's not that successful, to someone else, that's a big freaking deal. And don't let the way that you view yourself stop you from inspiring other people. But I also want you to change how you view your success, because after Jess asked me, I was like, okay, Courtney, like, seriously, you need to knock it off, because obviously more than one person is asking you to speak about what you're doing. So clearly it's not a fluke. And so I had to do like a moment of reflection, like, okay, you are doing something. Yes, I am getting Success Club points. Yes, my income is growing. Yes, like, things are happening, but I have perseverated on, well, my engagement, my team page isn't that great. And, well, I've got coaches that are trying, but no one else besides Sammy is just like running for it, or like hitting Success Club like all the time. And I'm perseverating on that and how I'm doing it wrong. I'm leading them wrong. I'm not giving them the right trainings. I'm not holding their hand enough, or I'm holding their hand too much. And I'm getting so mixed up in like the negativity crap that I'm neglecting the fact that I do have girls showing up on social media every single day, and they are trying and they are giving it their all. And who am I to discount the hard work that they are putting in because I'm blinding myself on my own insecurities or my own negativities? So don't let that become, consuming. Be aware of, yeah, there are certain things that I want to work on and I want to grow with as a team and on myself and with other people, but I can't let myself get in the way of someone else's success. Like, that's not fair. This whole opportunity is to facilitate success and freedom for other people as well as yourself. Like, we have an opportunity that gives to other people. And there's responsibility in that, knowing that as a coach that leads a team, that we have to take care of ourselves, but our mindset can have an impact on someone else's success. Like, if I'm in my team page because I'm cranky about whatever is going on in my life, like, that impacts the rest of my team. So, and I'm not saying like be all happy-go-lucky and like pretend you're happy all the time, because the girls on my team that are in here probably know that if I'm going live in the team page, I'm probably crying. It's true, because again, passive aggressive woman in me, I let things build up, and then I just unload. And I feel like that's not fair. So I think same probably goes to, your relationships and your friendships. Like, being open with, I'm struggling with this, I really appreciate this, and being aware of both sides. So that's kind of the mindset stuff that I wanted to touch on. And I'm going to be honest, I have no notes. This is coming all straight from the heart. Like, this is just what's on my brain and like what I feel like I'm going through and where I'm at. So if it's a little scattered, that's why. But so yes, I hit Success Club. I don't know. It's a non-negotiable for me to hit SC10 in my account and SC6 in my sister's account, because #leadership points. And I don't want to give up my SC10 All-Star. So for me, like, that is non-negotiable, because that guarantees me leadership points, guarantees me at least a decent income. And it's just, that's like, no ifs, ands. I mean, once you get to a point, it's like, I'm not giving up that all-star status. Like, absolutely not. I worked hard for that. So, having firm goals and thinking, okay, so how am I going to get there? What do I got to do? And I don't have people flooding my inbox. I absolutely do not. I also don't send invites every day. I don't even send follow-ups every day. I know. I call the success tracker police. I don't use a tracker. Like, that's the aspect of when someone's like, oh my gosh, how are you crushing it? I'm like, I'm not using a tracker. I'm not consistent with my invites. And like, I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I don't want you guys to think I send 50 to 100 invites every single day, because to me, I just authentically connect with people every single day. And if those invitations come up or those conversations occur, that is kind of how those conversations happen. Because I've done the whole, you go through and you watch who's looking at your story and it's the copy and paste. Hey girl, I don't know if you saw my story, but I'm hosting this group where blah, 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 blah. They see right through it. As someone who is a 26, I had to think about how old I was, 26-year-old millennial who is inundated with social media, network marketing, people see right through it. I can't speak for every age group because I don't know, but I've gotten a few people that are like, actually, yeah, I have. So my big thing is, when I'm going through stories and watching people's stories, I am like responding to every single story. And that is how I just open the conversation. I follow a lot of OT students or OT clinicians, and so I'm constantly responding to their stories like, oh my gosh, I remember studying that, or oh my gosh, hashtag grad school struggles, totally get it. I've been trying to connect with more local people, whether they're like fitness people in the area or stuff like that, and just finding something to either. There was a mom that she honestly is like hair goals, most beautiful hair. I commented, I did the whole like 3 photos, follow her, comment on a photo, and I was like, girl, your hair like is absolutely beautiful. And she responded and was like, seriously? And I sent her then a personal message. Instead of responding to the comment, I sent her a personal message. And I was like, no, seriously, you know, and I explained, I was like, I used to have long, straight hair, went to grad school, stress, lost all my hair, grew back curly. I now have like hair envy of anyone who has long, straight hair. And started a conversation. She told me she's a single mom with some teenage kids. She went for a run. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, props to you for running. If I'm running, you should be running the same direction because something's chasing me and whatever. And I was like, do you ever cross train? Like is that whatever? And so then she's like, oh yeah, it's just a hassle to get to the gym. And I sent her some sample workouts, and we're still like in the conversation, but honestly, all because I commented on a photo and said I liked her hair, which was totally authentic. Took it into the inbox and started conversing about exercise and how, oh my gosh, it would be so nice to be able to work out from home. I'm like, welcome, you know? So just connect with people. It really is about connecting. And that is what I'm trying to really kind of hit hard with my team, is because we do push invite, you know, follow up. And I would rather be like, connect, because the invites and the conversations will follow. And I do think that invites serve a purpose, and they need to be there. They need to happen, but it's just leading with authentic conversations and relationships and connections is, I think, far more important. So that's been like a big thing for me, is to just connect with the people on my social media. I've been trying to find better ways to give back to the people that follow me. So like for me, I have a huge OT following. So I created OT Tuesday as a thing. People know OT Tuesday happens every single Tuesday, and I'm trying to get more creative about it. For some reason, when I put like tips of like, you know, this is how you study for this, and this, people are like, yeah, I'll get like a couple, you know, more likes than usual. I share about my struggles. I share about, you know, like the deep stuff, or like talking about how I had accommodations and my anxiety in grad school. 600 likes. And everyone is like, I relate, I get it. And so it just really goes to show that that's the stuff that people want to connect to. How am I doing on time? Okay, we're good. I was organizing my cabinet, found some old notes that I was like, these are too pretty to throw away. Anyone want note? Like, I was like, you pay for shipping, you can have the textbook and the notes, and it's yours, because this is collecting dust, because I don't plan on going into pediatrics. I sent a little sample of pre-workout in the box and was like, hey, I know what it's like to be an OT student. You need a little energy. Here you go. Will she ever buy anything? I don't know, but I'll follow up with her and be like, hey, did you get your textbook? Did you try the pre-workout? If she's like, yeah, I loved it, great. If she's like, yeah, no, not for me, by all means, keep on studying, girl. So find how you can reach to your niche market. And I know OT isn't the same for everyone, and mom life is different than Courtney's life, like by a lot. I'm nowhere near being a mother, but finding the way that you can connect with people outside of just health and fitness, because people really do respect that. That's kind of really, like, I would say the bulk of what I've got. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's just truly, and it's like, I feel guilty for admitting that I don't even have a successful tracker printed out anywhere. And do I feel like a fraud at times to be like, to tell my coaches, you know, you should be doing this? I do. I have like some imposter syndrome almost. But at the same time, it's like, you know, when you've done something so much, I know what I need to do each day. But for someone who is, you know, a newer coach and they need that guidance, they need the structure of you need to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, you know, you have to find what works for you. Because if you're not using the tracker and you're not growing your business, then something needs to change or something needs to happen. Like I know, okay. So like the beginning of, okay, August was brutal. I think it is very well known. August sucked, like major. And I just remember my friend Mackenzie. So I have a coaching friend that I met at a Super Saturday down here, and she's like, my financial planner was asking me like, who's someone in the coaching industry or coaching Beachbody coach that you look up to? And I was like, you know what? It's my friend Mackenzie down here, because she's 2 or 3 star. And I don't envy her in a way of comparison that I just want to be like her, but I feel like I'm just that one step behind her where her success inspires me to get my ass in gear. And so, where was I going with that?
You're talking about financial planner.
Well, that was just, Jake was just asking me who inspires me. But just kind of knowing, like, having the people that inspire you to be better you. And like, there are coaches I've had to unfollow because seeing, like, there's a girl I went to high school with and I see her qualifying for 3-star and it makes me mad because I know her from high school and I want to do better than her. And it's like, it's this internal, like, she is super sweet. Like, we're like acquaintances and like, there's no negative thing, but deep down, I'm like, I want to be like she's one of Amy Bailey's personally sponsored diamonds. I'm just like, gosh, like, you know, and so I had to unfollow her and I don't check in on her Instagram. I don't know what she's qualifying for at this point, and I'm okay, because what matters is what I'm doing. Am I building my business forward? Am I moving forward? And at the end of the day, that's really all that's important, because who gives a crap how many babies Amy Bailey is having, or Ashley Molstead, or, you know, before she was pregnant, what drink she was having that night. That doesn't matter. So focus on you, because at the end of the day, this business is centered around you, your health, your fitness, people you are surrounded by that bring you joy, bring you support and accountability, the financial support that it provides you. So many people are like, I've got this coaching sneak peek going on Instagram, which again, to me, feels like an entire flop. I don't know if other people view it that way that are in the sneak peek. And these OTs are like, does it really like support like your OT income? I'm trying to like humbly be like, I would be living in a box if I didn't have coaching. Like, my student loans, my bills, all of the above is almost exactly equal to what I make as an OT. The last couple months, I think the last 2 months, I've made August I made $2,000, and the month before that I made 20, somewhere in the 2,000 range. That's a big freaking deal, because that covers more than just my rent. That is other bills and all that. And yeah, I went and got my nails done on Friday, and yeah, I paid someone to wash my hair, blow dry it, straighten it, and curl it. I paid $36 for that because I had the extra money and I was too lazy. Would have taken me like an hour. And that's just like the little things where it's like, I have the funds to treat myself to that. I was looking at microblading earlier. Like, yeah, I'm going to treat myself to getting my eyebrows microbladed. And those are the little things, like the little luxuries that I would just love to treat myself. And I can because of that. And I'm working on sharing that more on social media. And don't be scared to share that. Because I started as a graduate student who was getting phone calls from debt collectors that didn't know if I was going to get enough gas in my gas tank to drive to my own graduation ceremony. I had people that were like, do you need me to Venmo you money for groceries? Like, people I wasn't even really friends with. I've been there. I've hit that low. And that's one of my big whys is I have a picture of me crying that I posted on Facebook, but it's just the most painful image of the moment after I got off the phone with that debt collector and not knowing how I was going to pay that $300 medical bill. I don't even know where it came from. So just know, like, again, this is now starting to get scattered, but having that deep-rooted why, and like, whenever I start to feel off track, I just think about, okay, Courtney, you tell yourself, your life would be easier without coaching. You know, your nights would be more free without coaching. What would you do without that money? What would your life be like without a positive, without my boot camp? Like, I literally go in there and it's like, oh, this person had a giant win today. Oh, this person absolutely crushed it. Oh, this person pushed past their excuses. And I'm like, why would I not want that in my life? So really just reflect on, what is this opportunity like really doing for your life? And is your struggle like greater than that? Like, no, it has no match to what this opportunity provides for your life. Even if you're not making thousands of dollars, it is giving you love and community and a healthy body. And yeah, try and put a dollar sign on that, because I can't tell you how many people take for granted their health. I work in healthcare. Don't get me started. I'm not going to step on that soapbox, but work in healthcare, it'll be a nice slap of reality as to why it's important to take care of your health. So I'm going to end right there because I'm literally sweating. Oh my gosh. And yeah, that's that.
Some awesome takeaways, guys. I have some great nuggets that I wrote down. Courtney, do you have a couple more questions?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where your coaches are coming from, your new coaches.
Taylor's one of my new, she signed up, was it last night? She's one of the girls in my boot camp and has been doing it for a month and a half, 2 months. And she like, all right, I'm going to do this. And so I get a few from our boot camp, and I'm trying to focus more on really instilling in the women in our boot camp, like, that their story matters, and that, like, really focusing on helping them be successful and them getting the results that they deserve and that they're capable of. Because we all know when you feel good and you know, like, what it can do for your life, it's like everyone and their mothers needs to know how easy and simple it is to just take care of themselves. So the girls in our boot camp, and then yeah, I got Sammy up. Well, that might have been Facebook. Tasha, Facebook. Sydney, Instagram. We all went to the same college though. So it's mostly Instagram, sometimes boot camp. But so when you see these high coach numbers, they're not all working coaches. Majority of them are discount coaches, and that's okay. Like, I'm all about the discount life. Like, that is how I started the first 2 years. Yeah, Tasha is like the golden child of discount coaches. She's like the poster child, actually. She's the ultimate discount coach. She rocks it. And she's also like my biggest cheerleader. Like, she's amazing. But yeah, that's where coaches come from. Any other questions?
Awesome job, Court. I'm proud of you.
Me too.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. So you were talking about how when you're on Instagram stories, you are responding to other people's stories. So are you kind of because I'm still kind of trying to get into my groove with Instagram. And so tell me, like, kind of walk us through what that looks like. So you're on your phone. Do you look at who is watching your stories, and then you go back and return the love and kind of love on their stuff? Or
Not
how do you
necessarily.
pick and choose who you're going to message on Instagram?
So, like, for example,
Yeah.
Of course, the first few people that come up, it's like Sammy, Cynthia, my sister. But like once I get past that, and the people that you more engage with are typically at the top. But like this girl's story, oh, well, look at that. I would respond to that and be like, dang girl, look at you, like killing it. Or even if it's just like the clapping hands emoji, like bam, and just responding. Like a girl had a picture of this delicious looking drink, being like, oh my gosh, where is that? It looks amazing. Or what is that? So those are obviously people that I follow, and that's just because it's the ease of just instead of just sitting and watching, might as well be productive and just engage with the people that are on my social media. So that's kind of
Okay, I just didn't know if you had like a rhyme or reason. It's like, okay, you've got thousands of followers. How are you picking and choosing? I've heard of some coaches where they're like, I'm picking like 10, and I'm going to spend this month really pouring my love into those 10 people that I really feel like would make great coaches or would make, but I've heard of other people where it's really scattered and random. So do you have a method, or are you just kind of whoever pops up you're commenting on?
I don't have a system or a structure. It's really just like, that's kind of like my downtime of like, there's like the productive and the non-productive coach stuff. It's, obviously it's creating connections and opening conversations with people and connecting to them. But I would consider that like my non-productive coaching work, of where I'm just sitting on the couch or laying in bed and watching stories and just responding to people's stories authentically, connecting with them. So there's no specific set of number, or I don't necessarily always follow back up with them, but I'll respond to another story if I like their story later on.
And I think it's important to remember too, like the amount of people you follow, those are the only people you see their stories of. All those followers that she has, she doesn't see all of their stories. It's just the people that she chooses to follow. So it's not as like mass quantity of stories as the people who follow you.
Yeah. And I will say, in regards to social media, when like Cynthia had a really awesome call for Jess's team call, take action on the things that people suggest. Like, I love social media. I love trying new things. I've played around with what works, and we tell our new coaches, like, we just ask you to be a student and be willing to learn and apply. Like, let's not forget we have to do that ourselves, because social media and the internet and the world changes like every 5 seconds. So tune into the calls or catch the recording, actually take action on them, or actually watch them. Like when someone posts a recording of a call, like actually watch it, or do like what I do, at least pull it up while you're washing dishes, folding laundry. Like nothing distracts you more than like with like getting stuck with house chores. Like at least just tuning into something. Like that's how I get things done. I saw Jen had a question about if I have any male challengers. At one point I did, because his wife was in the group, and he actually got gave crazy good results, like absolutely crazy. And then of course the wife was like, that's not fair. Like he blinks and he just lost all that weight, and she was like getting stuck. But ever since we kind of transitioned into, we split our virtual boot camp into like coach-led, self-led. Not going to dig super deep into that. But basically, if someone didn't purchase Shakeology or anything the month prior, they get into a self-led group where Sammy and I are not posting every day. They didn't purchase anything, got put in there, and kind of have fallen off the face of the earth. So I don't currently, and I don't have a huge like market of men, so
Okay.
it's rare.
Okay. That's helpful. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with them because I have people getting either bot or Shakeology or randomly signing up as a coach and I'm just trying to figure out how to steer them when they do sign up, and because they don't want to I don't want to put them in my group with all the women. So
one thing that one of my coaches is trying to do, she has a cousin who's like, he's a male and he's super interested in being a coach, but he's, again, like, I don't want to be the only guy coach out of all these females and blah, blah, blah. But her and then like her friend, they're trying to pool like the couple guys that they have that are interested and have them make their own group. And then they can get other guys interested in their group, and that can kind of hopefully break open a little piece of market that we are not tapping into right now, just with who we are. And so that's an idea. If you have multiple guys who are interested, kind of maybe teaming them up or pairing them up, saying, hey, this guy wants to do it too. You guys could do this together.
Yeah. Okay.
I found a lot of my guys, and I have a lot of guys, but I don't. But men, for me, tend to just like the one-on-one check-in every couple weeks. They're not interested in being in the group.
That's what I'm finding, because that's what I'm finding. They just want it, and then they kind of do it, and I'm like, what do you need? Like, what are you doing?
Wow, to see if you're doing it. Because I've even had my husband in our groups before, and we post nice, but just not really interested in sharing his journey.
Right. Yeah.
And as far as male coaches, get him on a call with another male coach. I've done like a three-way call with me and 2 male coaches, and that goes really well. So I can always hook you guys up with some other male coaches who've been successful in the business, who can kind of give them a dude's perspective. Because it's slightly different. The way they run their business, it just is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like steal.
No, it's okay. Just a question, and for Courtney and anybody who, I'm finding I'm getting more people viewing my stories when I don't hashtag. It's really weird. Like, I'll just post day 23 out of whatever, and I get more people viewing that. Do you guys notice that at all?
I actually kind of have.
I've fell out of habit of putting hashtags, like, unless it's like a pun or like a joke. I don't really use hashtags in my stories or that anymore because I'm lazy. I can't, to be completely honest.
I do like a third of the time, but I've been jumping up with not using them every single time. So
okay. I don't know. I just find the hashtags that's less, and the non-hashtags that's a ton more, and not all of them are my followers. So I just like, where are they finding it? I don't know.
And I think that's a good point, though, because you're aware of your insights and you're seeing how when you do certain things, your views go down. So obviously, Instagram's telling you, hey, we don't really like that, or it doesn't really jive with our algorithm. Listen to the algorithm, because quite frankly, unfortunately, an algorithm runs our business on social media.
Yeah.
We have found that certain hashtags get a lot. Obviously, I know that sounds really obvious, but certain hashtags get me a ton of traffic on a story, and then I can use another hashtag in the next story and make it like nothing. So it could be the hashtag. Like, are you comparing apples to apples? You know what I'm saying? Are you using the same hashtag?
Yeah, it's been a variety. Like, I'll throw in a variety of things, and some will trigger more, but I am just floored every time I see when I don't use one, there's more. So I was just thinking maybe I'll just stop using hashtags. I don't know, but I do find I have watched some of the new Instagram stuff, and I think that's been helpful, where they mention, people are following, and the algorithm now is actually posting something for them to like and save later. Are you finding any of that with you, Courtney, like when you're posting?
My OT Tuesday posts are geared towards liking, saving, and sharing to their story. And it's funny, my mom knows if my post comes up on her social media, she knows to save it. Because I told her, I was like, so Mom, this new algorithm. And I have my coaching sneak peek account. So I hop on there and I save and all that stuff. And yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, but I think it just facilitates us to post like save worthy content. So we're not just putting crap out there just for shiggles.
Do you give them instructions to save it?
I try, but some posts, like, I'll put like, save, like if there's like study tips, save for when you're studying for your NVCOT, or, I have in the past put like, if you put this in your story, make sure you tag me, which I think now you can view story reshares. This is a new feature. So I can see, oh, this girl shared my new post on awesome post about level 2 fieldwork and feeling forward for all my healthcare friends. So like I can see, like I put it on my own story, but that's another cool way. And then I'll go and I'll send her a personal message and be like, thank you so much for sharing my story.
Well, and another thing, I've done the save, or like you should save this for later. I will always put that in the first line of the post because of the fact that you have to click see more for like the rest of the caption. So if you can have that in like the first line or the first 2 lines, then they'll want to click to see what they're trying to save. If that makes sense, because it won't be in the caption if you put it at the bottom for what they just see if they're just scrolling. So you'll want to make sure if it is something, and I think the 2 that I've tried that have been successful are like recipe steps. Like last night I shared one about like the veggie stir fry that I make for bringing to lunch, like easy meal prep. And I was like, you'll want to save this for an easy meal prep. And that was the first line of the caption. And then the other one that I found that's really helpful is I've done Joel's hit circuits. I've like filmed 10 seconds of each of his hit circuits. And I've said like, save this for an at-home hit workout. And that'll be the first line of the caption. So then people are like, they might even hit save without even reading the rest of the caption. So that's the tip I have for the saving, is if you want people to save it, or if it's something that people should save, put that right away so that they see that right away.
Do you find you guys are getting more followers then with that? Or when Courtney, when are you getting like a big, or both of you, when do you guys notice suddenly a lot of people are following you?
It's funny you
Is it after a post? Huh?
I have actually, it's ridiculous. I've been beating myself up about it. It's stupid when you say it out loud. But ever since Captivate and Cleaner shut down, I'm just like, this is killing me. It's so time consuming. And so it just really forces me to like put myself out there and connect with people, and like, I don't have a robot, not even a robot, but you don't have Captivate and Cleaner. I don't even have Clean, like, please give me Cleaner. But I was like, oh my gosh, I am watching myself lose followers, the other day that I was like, I had so many, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm back almost under 7,400. Oh my gosh, like as if it's the end of the flipping world. But then I just posted this authentic or vulnerable post, and I was like, oh, I just gained 10 followers. So it's like,
yeah.
And that's another thing where when you're putting content out that's share worthy, people are putting it on their stories, other people are seeing it, check it out. So putting together share worthy stuff.
Well, and I was just going to even say too, like I've noticed that when I post like things that just do better on Instagram, like last week when we had open house, I posted my open house post, and that thing freaking blew up. And I was like, literally all I did was say hi to 30 families. Like it wasn't like it was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, here's this amazing story. It was literally just me with like my classroom door, like, here we go, year 3, like here I am. And it got like 250 some likes or something. And I was like it wasn't anything super crazy special, but it's like stuff that's important about your life that you just share and just, you know, highlight about what's going on in your life, whether it be something that's amazing or whether it be something that's really like a struggle for you. And I noticed that I was like, I was even without like Captivate Clean or any of that. And I was so freaking busy. I was at the school for 12 hours a day that I wasn't even like going on Instagram and engaging with people because I was like a psycho in my brain. And so I would look down, I was like, how did I get 7 followers today from like not doing anything? And it's those posts that just bring in some traction that's where you can get those organic followers from, is depending upon, you know, what you're sharing too. So another way, if you like want to see a spike in followers, or if you're like struggling, like this week I was like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post about this bridal boot camp. I'm going to pay to have it sponsored on Instagram. And I've gained like, I think like 10 followers in the past like day just from that. And like, that's another way, like, I don't do that very often, maybe like once a month or once every month and a half, but that's another way to gain some traction there too.
I tried a paid sponsor, and I got a bunch of men. I have no idea what I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So I've done that twice, and it for some reason, however, it triggered, and so I've stopped. I didn't do that anymore. But that's my own personal problem. I don't know. Thank you.
I feel like these conversations can go on forever.
It totally could. Yeah. Thank you I think being authentic is huge. Huge, huge, huge.
Just know that I am not anything special, and I am struggling most days. I feel like I don't have structure to my business. Like it's not all check boxes and pretty notes and stuff like that. Like
it's pre-workout poops and
yeah, like this is it, guys. This is it.
Where the magic happens, girl.
It's a mess, but God bless this mess.
Inspire all of us, and we are just
thank you.
Time out of your busy day, late at night, chat with us and inspire us to just keep pushing forward and be our authentic selves and make connections, create worthwhile content. I mean, I have so many great takeaways, so I can't thank you. Thank you, and please know that Midwestern woman and you wants to downplay your success, but we think you're badass. So,
well, thank you for having me. I'm very honored.
Well, I am honored that you said yes. So, ladies, don't be shy about following up with Courtney if another question pops in your head, but let's get some sleep, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks, Courtney.